I'm starting off this video with a Google Maps image. In the middle of the screen is a little white dot. Do you see it? Let me zoom in a little bit more for you. So that right there is something I found while scouring Google Maps. And I'm pretty certain it's something man-made. I don't know what it is, but the only way to find out is to actually get there personally and see it with my very own eyes. Now, if you're like me and are very curious and want to know what it is, well, all you have to do is stay tuned and come along with me. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you join me for today's adventure. So, this is something I discovered about a year ago. I think it was early 2021 when I found that little white image on Google Maps. And it's been on my list of places to visit, and here I'm finally getting there today in 2022. Now, I did do just a little bit of research, and I did find a map image from 1958. I'm going to show that on the screen right now. Now, as I zoom in on that map, it's going to show the exact location that we're going to that I showed already on the modern day Google Maps image. And a couple things you could notice is that there's a few bodies of water there, 4 or 5 of them. On top of that, the area looks like it has been worked, whether it's a type of quarry or for mining or something else, that I don't know, but there's definitely work that was done there back in the day, many decades ago. Now, I did find another map image from 2014. Now, in that image, you can see that white item is still there, and on top of that, you could tell that the terrain is very hilly. There's a lot of highs and lows, hills and valleys, so it's not going to be a completely flat location, and I'm anticipating that it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get to this exact location. But on the 2014 image, and even going into the modern 2020 image, those bodies of water are still there. So whatever took place many decades ago, there's still remnants and signs of it even to today. Now, on the other side, I want to point out is that what that item is maybe something really interesting, unique, awesome, unexpected, or it could be the exact opposite. It could be something rather disappointing and like, oh, I came all the way for this. But we don't know until we get there for ourselves. I do have a bit of a trek to get there. It's going to be over a mile walk at least, maybe closer to 2. So once I do get closer to the exact location, I will bring it back aboard and we'll discover together what it is and see what that area has to offer. So I just came upon something rather beautiful. We're not at our destination yet, but it's just too beautiful to pass up. I'm going to try to get down there, but there is nice flowing rapids, and if you kind of peek between the trees here and the branches, there is a really nice looking swimming hole. And I'm standing on a mound of super squishy nature's carpet. I'm going to try to find my way down there, and if so, we're going to check this out as a little detour, and then we'll continue on to our destination. Alright, I believe I found the way down, so I'm going to bring you guys with me. I'm going to try to do this safely. But look at the gorgeous nature here. Ferns and plants and such beautiful carpet. Very remote back here, but there are signs of people. There's some rusty tin cans. I did see some what appear to be campsites, but it's pretty remote. You have to have either all-terrain vehicle or, like I'm doing it, on 2 feet to get back here. You kind of see when I'm coming down here. This is like a whole nother world down here. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely a spot for people. Sadly, there is trash down here, but we're gonna look past that and look at nature itself. Got a large pipe down here. This area is definitely rather, I guess the lack of a better word, reconstructed. It looks like they did excavate some of the rock face out of there, and obviously the pipe was installed. Maybe for a reservoir or something. This is such a nice area. I'm going to try to get my way across, not by the pipe, but on an easier little connecting set of rocks. And I want to get up there because up there looks like a pretty significant, when I say significant, I mean deep pool of water. And depending on the clarity, I do have my super long selfie stick. Maybe we'll get some underwater footage. So I'm going to see if they get across, and I'll see you guys somewhere over there. It's actually at least 3 or 4 feet deep there too. All right, we're safely across, and looks like it was dammed up here too. Now, when I first called you guys over to look at it, we were up on top of there, so you can see the opposite view. And yes, this is, wow, deep, crystal clear water. There's even like a section of pipe right there, big rock in the middle, but it goes down probably over my head. I'm trying to see the best vantage point. There's a big rock laying there, which you may or may not be able to see. There's a little shoreline, and then it gets kind of steep over there. And there's even like a flowing water slide over there too. I'm going to try to make my way over here. That looks like the closest vantage point, and we'll get some better clarity around the bend, and we'll take a look at it. And I think we'll at least, for the moment, dip you guys underwater when we get over there. All right, now I'm going to show you something. I don't want you to make it too obvious that you're looking at it because it's looking back at us, but I did spot this. Don't stare at it too long. Don't want to make them uncomfortable. We made it over here though, and this is a really gorgeous spot. I am blown away. Even right here, we're looking at 3 to 4 feet deep, and there's a drop off there. And here's the size of that rock. I'm actually going to give you some size perspective in just a moment to show you how big that is compared to me. That is huge. It may have fell from up there where we were earlier. But this is like a little oasis. It's just nestled down here in a valley. Straight across, we got some flowing rapids and waterfall slides. I would love to return in the future to do some snorkeling here. Wow. I may even poke around here. There might be some natural caves or something. It looks like there might be some undercut areas. Well guys, if you are enjoying this so far, I mean, I'm glad you're watching because we haven't even reached our location to find out what the item is on Google Maps, but places like this are just too hard to pass up, and they're harder and harder to find. I mean, unless you're a local or have someone to share the information with you, these places are not really advertised, and this is really something else. I'm absolutely in love with the place. Stumbling on my words because I'm trying to think of the words to use. All right, enough of me yapping. We're going to get you guys underwater here and give you a glimpse as to how it looks under the surface. It's a big rocky overhang here. I am pretty much standing under it right now. So you can see I'm walking under it. Can't find any caves or anything or openings, but regardless, it's still a pretty neat natural feature. Plenty of areas to relax. All right, so we need to get back across the river and continue down that way, pick up with another trail. And I think we're less than a mile, hopefully less than 3/4 of a mile to our destination of that white item on Google Maps. So this may end up being a longer video. If so, it's just because there's so much to share with you guys. And I want to make you feel like you're here with me as well, because this is something special. So let's continue on with our journey. I think we may have some evidence as to the area that we're walking in, what it possibly would have been used for back in the day. And where I'm standing, there's a really cold breeze coming towards me on my backside. And those of you who are familiar with what I'm talking about, you know that I am in the vicinity of something that goes underground. And right here we have two openings. These are pipes that are inserted into the rock face here, and they're gated, but it does go in. I'm going to stick you guys in there as far as I can and show you what it looks like, so give me 1 second. There's a timber right there. We're looking into an actual mine. I have you guys kind of resting on the gate here, and I'm reaching as far as I can. Wow. And on top of that, there's one below me here. Somebody stuck a log through it. They're both gated. They're back gated, so bats or anything else animal-wise could get inside there. But yeah, these are just nestled here in this rock face. So if this is telling you anything as to what we're going to be finding today, it may help us identify that this area was mined and not a quarry like I previously thought. All right, back on the main trail. But that is probably about 50-degree temperatures coming out of there. It's so cold, but feels so good because it's in the upper 70s, low 80s right now. But yeah, you can see it's kind of just hidden back there. I just glanced over and saw a dark hole. So as we're making our way about, make sure you keep your eyes peeled. We may find something else. And it's not too far away from the natural swimming hole there. So, all right, so my own curiosity got to me. I'm following along this rocky cliffside here. About 30 yards is where I just showed you those pipes that are gated. And over here, there is water coming out from underground. And more so than that, there's ties here. And when I say ties, it could be either ties for tracks or timbers for in a mine. There's a bunch of them laying here. What leads me to believe that at one point this was a portal, and it was either filled in and blocked or it was collapsed. But I'm fairly certain we're at the entrance of a portal right here, and this is water coming out of the mine. I can even feel a cool breeze. Like there's probably some air pockets coming out, but this is rather unique. But this is like a rock slide here, so it looks like it was collapsed just naturally, that it wasn't filled in. But this is water coming up from under the ground and a bunch of ties and or stalls or timbers, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, this is a really unique area. It may require some further investigating in the future, maybe during the winter time when things are not so green and lush. But yeah, so far I'm loving this area. All right, I'm back. For the sake of it, I wanted to climb up on top here and see what it looks like. So down there is where the water is coming out, where it appears to be an old portal. So I'm up on top of it now, and there's a lot of broken rock here and some big things that fractured and separated. But as we're looking, there is some darkness back there. And right here specifically, if you look down there, which is hard to see, it keeps going farther than my light can show, and there's cold air coming out of here. So I'm pretty safe to say that, I should say it's pretty safe to say that this was a mine portal at some point, whether it was for drainage or haulage or a manway or anything. But this is all broken away. There's a bunch of cave crickets flying around and mosquitoes. Yeah, we're standing on top of a portal right now. Pretty fascinating. Alright, so here's an update. Things are not going as according to plan. I am back to the swimming hole area where the pipe is right up there. That's because I was following this trail. Off to the left here is over where those pipes are with the gated mine openings. And the trail keeps going in that direction. I need to go that way and then that way, according to Google Maps. The area I want to go is basically up there. The problem I'm facing is it's a cliff side everywhere around me, except for the way I came. On Google Maps, it looks like there is a trail to get there, but the trail is broken off from the river up on an embankment on both sides. There's no easy way to get up there. So I need to find out or figure out what I'm going to do, because if I keep going in that way, it's just going to take me farther away. And I can't climb a vertical face here. I mean, what you see here with this rock is basically like that all the way up right here. So I'm in a really tough spot. I don't know if I'm going to reach this location. I'm not giving up. I'm going to see if maybe I could get up there around this way. But before that though, I'm actually kind of glad we came back, because I did find something else over here. I'm not the first person to discover it, as I wasn't with the other opening. But right across here, we got another gated opening. So this, without a doubt, was a mining area. We're still at least a half mile away from the location I wanted to show you guys and take you to, but there is a lot going on here. So we got a big portal right there. It's actually concrete around it, and some railroad tracks or mine tracks as rebar. And I want to get over there, but there's some foundations and supports here too. So something came out of here, possibly rails. They could have been mine carts that crossed the creek here. It could be for a pipe. This is really fascinating. This is going almost the direction to those openings I showed you earlier. I'm going to try to find a safe way over there, and we'll take a peek with the flashlight and see what it looks like. I'm just trying to pick my easiest path here, but I can actually feel the cold air from here. The leaves right there are moving from it. So there's some good airflow. All right, I'll see you on the other side. There's no easy way across. I'm just gonna grin and bear it. I'm gonna walk across with my shoes on. This is just what I'm willing to do to check out things like this. I just have to see with my own eyes to see what it looks like beyond those gates, beyond those bars. I'm gonna have wet feet the rest of the day, but oh well. All right, we're safely across. And here we are. Ooh, the air coming out of here is so nice. All right, so it is plugged up, but it's not sealed up. I could tell people have been in there. There's like a worn path, and you have to do an army crawl to the right through that little opening there. And it probably opens up on the other side. It's definitely not sealed because the air coming out of here, if I was to guesstimate, I'd say about 5 miles per hour, between 5 and 7 mile per hour breeze, around 50, 52 degrees. This is solid concrete right here, and above me is concrete and rail. And this is backgated, but definitely not sealed up. People have been in there. Whether they crawled underneath or not, I don't know. I'm not going to do that, especially being by myself. But just too cool to pass up. But now, one good thing is I'm on the other side of the river, so I'm going to try to snake the edge of the shoreline here and see if I can find any way up, because that's the direction I need to go. And I want to bring you over here just to show you too before I continue on, before I fall and break something. So this is concrete here, and there's some anchor bolts coming out of it right there, and another one right there. So it leads me to believe this could have been a miniature trestle for loaded mine cars coming out, like a haulage tunnel. That, or something completely different. If you guys have any information what you think this could be, let me know. But it is kind of in line for a little gravity set of rails that would have went across the river. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to keep going. I'm not gonna keep showing any more footage along the way unless there's something really fascinating. Otherwise, once we do reach our destination, that little white dot on the map, or close to it, I will bring it back. This is turning out to be a much more of a larger undertaking than I anticipated, but I'm not giving up. I am determined. I do have water with me and other things I need, so I'm going to go as far as I can for as long as I can. And worst case scenario, if I don't reach it today, I'll have to find another way in another time. But let's not worry about that. Let's keep going for now and see what happens. Welcome back. So, boy, this was something I underestimated. I'm not even at the location yet, but just to get to where I am right now, I had to climb that mountainside that I showed you up above that little gated mine area. I thought for sure a few times I was going to lose my footing and slide or fall down. Came pretty close to doing that. I made it to the top though, and following the trail, which I'm back on a trail now, which is better, and came upon this really neat body of water. Now, there's a point I'm going to get to, so just give me a moment. So with this body of water, it's not one of them that was shown on Google Maps that I showed, or even on the old image, but we are getting the vicinity. The one thing I could tell you though, is that I planned on giving you some underwater footage because not sure if you could see, I'm going to crop it in. Right in the sunlight there's hundreds, if not thousands of tadpoles. I can only imagine what else is under the surface, and this looks like it's man-made. The problem is though, I had my super long selfie stick sticking out of my backpack, strapped in, and on my way up climbing up the mountain, when I almost lost my footing, I heard something start tumbling, making noise. And I looked, I didn't see anything. I thought maybe it was a rock or something I dislodged. Well, I just went to go get my selfie stick to get some underwater footage, and it's gone. My selfie stick fell somewhere on that mountainside, and I'm not going back to look for it. Thankfully, the camera, which you guys are, watching on, was on the front of my backpack, but it was my 7-foot long selfie stick with the Osmo Action housing. So that's about $30 some just gone, but that's the least of my worries. I made it up safely. I'm in no harm. I'm sweaty and dirty. I'm tired, but we are making progress. But that means I need to come back in the future for not only this body of water, but the ones we're going to be coming across at our location, because that was one of the things I planned on doing, was showing you what's below the surface. I love to do that. And yeah, let me give you one more look here. This thing is infested with tadpoles and frogs. They're actually jumping in. All those things you see in the water are all, I believe they're little tadpoles, which are, I believe, are going to turn into frogs, if that's how it works. But I don't know how deep it is, and it's not super clear, but it's clear enough to see those. Pretty fascinating. I'm sure there's maybe some fish in there too, or even snakes or turtles. But anyways, one casualty down, my selfie stick, but we're still going to persevere. I got my phone, I got you guys, I got extra batteries, so I know for certain we are less than a half-mile away. So, not to draw this on any longer than it is, which I know it's already a long video, once I get really close this time, oh, there's a nice clearing back at the power lines. Once I get really close, within almost eyesight of where we're going, we'll then pick up from there and see what it is that we came out earlier today to find. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Oh no. Don't tell me. I'm on top of another friggin' mountain. And according to Google Maps, somewhere down here is where we need to go. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is getting frustrating here. Typically, I'm very optimistic. I don't give up easily. But setbacks like this are really frustrating, to say the least. I need to figure out what I'm going to do now. I'm so close. Like, according to Google Maps, which I've been tracking my progress, I may be a quarter mile away, maybe less than that. Now, I did state earlier in the video, looking at those older maps, that, you know, there's some highs and lows, there's some hills and valleys. I was anticipating this. This is like mountains. All right, I need to take a breather, get a drink, and plan my next course, because I'm not giving up. I'm so close. Finally, some good news. This is like update after update, but I want to keep you guys informed. So I retreated where I just did my last clip from, on top of that little hillside, and follow the trail. The trail is going off the wrong way, so I decided to just trek myself through the woods, make my own path, and coming down this little embankment here, and look what I'm finding. Big chunks of coal. So our suspicions are correct that this was almost without a doubt a mining area. Are you ready for some more good news? Well, that is that I've reached one of the bodies of water that we saw on the 1958 map, the 2014 map, and the 2020 map. And that means we are really close to finding that white object. And there is boatloads of activity in this water. Oh, I wish I had my selfie stick. Oh, Jesus! What the hell was that? I think those are frogs, but they're like screeching. That scared the crap out of me. Jesus! Why are they scaring me? I'm probably scaring them. I'm not trying to. All right. So, okay, this is one of the bodies of water. I'd love to get you some underwater footage, but I will have to plan a future trip for that. But I'm gonna keep following around here. I do know there's at least 4, maybe 5 bodies of water in the vicinity, so we are extremely close. I'm gonna keep you guys going for just a little bit here. There's some tires. There's a trail going off that way, and there's a clearing up here, so people have been back here having fires or partying or whatever they're doing. Let me check on my maps here. So I need to, okay, it shows there's more bodies of water over here. Let's see if that's correct. But I need to go behind me to find that white object. So there is other ways to get here besides the way I came, since there's trails and ATVs, tracks and stuff like that. I guess I took the scenic route. Yep, there is another body of water. So 100% we were in the right location. And I'm pretty certain these are man-made bodies of water from when they were doing the work back here in the 50s or earlier. There's even pieces of coal here. So, like I always like to say, another piece to the puzzle. So, you know, we came here not knowing what to expect. We still don't know what that item is, but we know that this was a mining area. Man-made bodies of water and coal, portals, and now just to find out what that white object is. If you guys have made it this long, thank you so much for sticking around to watch. I've been trying to keep this as short as possible, but also entertaining and inclusive as possible. But I'm actually getting excited now, knowing that we're really close and we're going to find out one way or the other what this is. Fingers crossed it's something interesting. But regardless, I'm not going to be disappointed because look at all we saw today. Look at all we did. I'm down in a valley here, like a ravine. And it's getting to be opened up again. There's more water up here. We're really close. There's a old, or like a not so traveled path there. This is a much larger body of water. Probably a fishing hole. This is big enough to take like a little raft in. Jesus, they're doing it again! I'm not trying to scare you. Stop scaring me. Okay. Yeah, this is big. Very murky and cloudy though. But the other ones are relatively clear. Let's see where we need to go. I know I'm close. Thankfully I have service here. It shows it's on the back side of the water. Made some more progress. Just on the other side of that tree line and that little embankment is that body of water. Was no easy way around that. I had to make my own path. It was really steep and slippery. I got caught up, but it's worth it. On the other side now, there's some piles of material here. And it looks like they're man-made piles. And according to the map images, or the GPS that I'm following on my phone, the item should be just up here. Is the suspense killing you? Hopefully it's worth it. This is really remote though, I can tell you that. I'm still not seeing anything. I know I'm really, really close. I will say though, and this is not to make the video more interesting, but just to relay what I'm experiencing. There's been a few times where I've heard noises that I couldn't explain. There was one area, and not specifically this area, just throughout the whole journey today, where like sticks have fallen randomly. I've heard like a crunch or a break of a twig. And I didn't feel startled or anything like that, but I didn't see anything that caused it. Could have just been falling dead trees, who knows, but When you're by yourself though, and you're really remote like this, your senses do get heightened. Seems like it's type of an old path here. We gotta be close. Let's check. It shows them going farther away. So I need to go up this way. This is like one heck of a scavenger hunt, I tell you. Trying to find this item, whatever it is. Google Maps is really not detailed, showing you what you have to go through. I thought this was gonna be so easy to find. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done in a long time. All right, there's a clearing here. There's another body of water. Oh, they're all jumping and swimming. Another deep body of water. This is really deep. I'm stepping in water. My feet are already wet though, it doesn't really matter. So we pretty much found all the bodies of water surrounding this item. And it seems like this item's right in the middle of them. Let me check maps again. What the heck? It's like it doesn't want me to get there. I'm now on the other side of it. It wants me to go on the other side of this water. And there's a hillside there. What is going on? It's like it doesn't want it to be found. All right, I'm gonna give it one final go. I'm gonna follow the maps again. My GPS is pointing that direction. Let's try to find it. They like to screech when they're going in the water, when they're jumping. It's not startling me now, but it was at first. You guys already heard that. Ooh. Thought I was going in there. It's not so deep here, it's deeper in the center. Let's see, is GPS going to tell me I'm on the other side now and need to go somewhere else? At this point, I'm getting pretty worn and tired. I've easily trekked a few miles. A lot of it was vertical. And without a doubt, this is the most effort I put into finding something and making a video since I was in the hospital 6 months ago. I'm going to be feeling it tomorrow, but it's going to be worth it regardless. What is this? Did we find it? No, don't tell me this is just garbage. Please be something more than just this. Yeah, it's a pile of garbage. I don't know if I should laugh or cry. Well, let's just decipher what we have here. This actually looks like a tent. Like a circus tent or like a flower tent. There's a number of poles here. A lot of them are notched. There's some chairs and stuff mixed in. Why would this be here and how did it get here? This is so remote though. I don't see a way they could have got here by truck. And this has been here, as we saw, from at least 2014. That's 8 years. Let's walk around a little bit more and see. At this point, I'm glad I took the scenic route, because if we beelined it here and missed everything else, I think I'd be more disappointed and upset. What is this? Is this off somebody's side-by-side Yamaha? tailgate. I mean, they could have brought it in by that. There's some big heavy stuff here. There's the body of water that we found before. I was so close to it. These are almost like telephone poles, but you can see they're notched. And the tent, the white and yellow, is what I saw on Google Maps. I thought it was a big white structure. There's some big cable spools laying there. How and why it's here, I have no idea. I don't even want to even try to speculate, but it's here regardless. It's big enough to show up on Google Maps, and it is what we found. Let me find a little shady spot, and we're gonna just talk for a moment. Well guys, I'm sorry. I had high hopes this was going to work out to be something much more interesting. The silver lining though is that the trek to get here, although strenuous and frustrating, allowed us to see so much more than we realized was out here. From that natural swimming hole to those mine portals to, you know, there's the flowing creek and nature's carpet and these bodies of water. I mean, everything else, I mean, it was one heck of an experience. I have good things and not so good things to say about it, but we reached our destination though. We came to find what we came to look for. I should say we found what we came to look for. It's been a long day. I'm already about 3.5, 4 hours into this, believe it or not. It's been a long trek today. So with that being here, it's always sad to see garbage. You know my thoughts on that. It's not a good thing. As to how they got it here, I'm puzzled. Other than, you know, a side-by-side bringing it here, there's no easy roads, there's no direct paths, and it's just frustrating that, you know, something on Google Maps looked so unique and interesting, it turns out just to be garbage. Enough complaining though. This is a neat area though. 100% was mined back in the day. These bodies of water, I'm pretty certain, are natural. They could have been used for anything, for washing the coal to, you know, a flume of sorts or anything else, pumping it for different things. It's really remote, but also, you know, just a lot of history to it, even though I didn't even realize it. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I want to thank you for watching, for sticking around. If you are here right now to the end and watch the entire video, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. I usually never know what is actually going to be in these videos as far as every little detail or what these locations are going to find or show us until we get there. And this turned out to be a bit of a fail, but it's not a fail because we got to experience so much more. And despite me really pushing myself beyond my limits and climbing that mountain and losing my selfie stick, it was worth it. I mean, not the safest thing to come by myself, I will say that, I will admit that, but I did keep tabs with Jill on my location. I've been sending her screenshots on Google Maps where I've been, and I'm actually glad I didn't bring anyone, because I wouldn't want them to go through what I went through. I mean, I went through some stuff that I wouldn't want anyone else to go through. Walking through the creek, climbing the mountainside, you know, getting cut up. It was a long day, and to me, the effort was worth it. I now know what this is. I now know not to come back looking for this. But with these bodies of water, I'm pretty certain there's an easier way to get to them, because there are ATV trails. So let me know your feedback down below if you want me to come back in the future with a new selfie stick, at least to that tadpole pond. That one looks rather inviting for some underwater footage. And also the swimming hole too, as I put on the screen. If you'd like me to return this sometime to do some snorkeling, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm also losing my voice. This has been such a long day. But I'm ready to get out of here. I'm going to try to find the easiest way out. I have at least 1.5 miles walk to my car. So my day's not over, but it is for you, at least with this video. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more adventures like this, more exploring in the woods, check the playlist down below. Otherwise, stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching again, and until next time, I'll see you real soon in the next video.